Hi, Marbs here. Now today we're going to talk about media remotes again. Now, last time that we talked about media remotes, I got to be honest with you, it was kind of something that I did on the spur of the moment, and I didn't really put a whole lot of thought into it. It was just sort of my feedback from using a media remote and my desire to want to use my Xbox One X as a media player, and my quest to want to have a remote that was similar to what I'd used in the past. Now, those remotes are still good. I don't want to take anything away from them, but there's been a little bit of an update. Our friends at PDP have a brand new remote. Now, this is called the Nemesis. Now, it is available under another name, I believe, called Solis on PDP's website now. However, I got the Nemesis with this nice box and things from WOOT for $10. That's right, $10. Now, when you get an Xbox media remote for $10, I don't know quite what you're expecting. Now, I opened the box and, I was presented with the media remote itself. Now, the remote itself is very small. It has no numeric keypad. It does have an Xbox One, well, I guess you just call it the Xbox Jewel button at the top to activate that. Now, all of the buttons are very, very, I would call them non-standard, meaning they don't stand up on the remote, with the exception of the two toggle buttons. And we're going to talk about that here in a minute. That means that all of the buttons are sort of like a press that you use, and it presses down on it. Now, the remote is backlit, and it does have, a back button, and then a menu, and then, your start option select. And then it has a volume up and a volume down button, and a channel up and channel down button, plus a fast forward or rewind, a pause, and a stop button. Now, the volume button is interesting in the fact that it is a toggle button that goes up and down, sort of like a, I wouldn't call it a slider, but a button that you push up on it or down on it, and it activates the up or the down action. Now, what's interesting is if you push down on it, that is your mute. And then you obviously have the channel up and down button. Now, what is important to note about this remote is that I think it is a very good budget option. And it has one other little trick that might interest you. If you flip your remote over, there's a solar panel on the back. It can charge itself just by flipping the remote over and making sure that it never runs out of batteries. So you leave the remote flipped over after you're done using it, and it will just charge itself. Or you could use the USB charging port at the bottom. Now, my experience with this remote and my feedback is the same as I've said before. It does require a little setup, so you do have to do a little bit of configuration in the settings to get the remote to work right. It is a line of sight remote. It's IR. It is not a wireless remote that is going to go through everything, an RF style remote. And, at this price point, I wouldn't expect it to be. What this is, my friends, is a very good value. If you want a media remote and you'd like to try it on your Xbox, this will get the job done. Now, I don't quite know why PDP is blowing these out on WOOT, and I'm not even sure if you can still get it at the time this video airs. But if you can, it uses the name Nemesis. The new one, I believe, uses the name Solis, but I don't know that there's really any difference. My guess is that the Nemesis name somehow is not allowed to be used or something, so they're just blowing out the inventory that they have with this name. But it's a good value, works well with your Xbox. My name is Marbs. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.